these are the parts we need to clean. Okay, so we need to take this lid off and then we'll see how grotty it is. Unfortunately, it's not quite as grotty as I was hoping to be. Get pretty excited when it's really clogged because then we get good performance gains, good economy gains out of it, but this one's not as clogged as I thought it would be. At least I don't think so. So we've got to pull this apart, clean this. We've got to clean the upper manifold. We've got to clean the EGR. In this case, the EGR has already been cleaned, but I will give it just a quick clean. And by cleaning the EGR, basically all we're doing is cleaning that section there. It's all that's required for this one. And we'll give the throttle body a nice clean. Just had some oily residue on there. It would seem the catch can is actually not catching the vapors very effectively. Could be one of two reasons. One is it was only installed 10,000 Ks ago, so you'd have all that oil residue all the way through the turbo piping, through the intercooler and up to the throttle body. That's what I'm hoping it is. Or there's actually a defect with the catch can. I'll have a look at that. I'll give that a clean and we'll monitor that. So, we shall pull this apart.
They're all just Allen key heads.
The NS Pajero Allen key heads. Anything newer than the NS, so 2000, and I think the NT came out firstly in 2008, maybe late 2008, early 2009, are all 10mm bolts from then on. Not badly clogged. However, if you notice, that's your map sensor nipple, so that governs your boost, your fueling, all sorts of stuff. Lets the ECU know what the turbo and what the motor is doing. Well, it's fully clagged right there. So this one, having had the upgrade, doesn't affect it. But you got an NS Pajero, this is what happens, guys. This car's actually got a engine light on, and it would be from these butterflies, Michael, if you want to have a look here.
Yeah.
Is from these butterflies here. Well, they're actually moving, but they're probably not moving much here. They're getting caught up right there. So most likely that's what the engine fault is. So we're gonna cheat just a little bit here. Excuse me just a moment while I go into my bag of tricks. Ta-da! I got a pre-cleaned one here, ready to go. So what we'll do is, this one's gonna go back on this car. I'll put that there for the moment. But, so what we would do with this, getting ahead of myself, sorry, what we would do with this generally is actually soak it in oven cleaner. Leave it overnight, leave it for 2 nights, 3 nights, whatever. And the oven cleaner will just eat it, you pressure clean it once, and you're done. For this, because we're doing the DIY, we'll actually give this a clean in a manner where we don't want it to sit for days. We need to get this car going so we can go back to work tomorrow. So that's what we'll do here. So we'll clean this section. We won't worry about this section because we'll soak that one. We will clean this section because I don't have a replacement for it, and this is an upgraded one with the nipple in the spot where we want it.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to take this gasket off carefully because we can reuse it. Put that aside. Now the oven cleaner isn't just going to take all this build up straight off, so we need to scrape off as much as we can. So we've got, I just use a chisel, screwdriver, and a couple of brushes, but I don't use these brushes until after the first wave of oven cleaner, for the lack of a better word. So we'll just get in here and scrape it. You really can't do any damage. It's usually quite a lot softer and really gunky. So this will actually probably clean up, once I've scraped it all off, probably clean up pretty good the first time with oven cleaner. Are you going there, Mick?
Yeah, it's just all clumpy and clogged up.
Yeah, I'm nearly done. I'm just about to hit this with a oven cleaner in a minute.
Yeah, I'll spray that screwdriver after you for the end.
Hey, what do you call a woman with 2 black eyes?
What?
Nothing, you already told it twice.
Alright, here's my flour. 2 peanuts walking to a bar. Thought one of them would have seen it.
Yeah, another 2 peanuts walked into a bar. One was assaulted.
It's just good, Dad.
Alright, I'm ready for oven cleaner.
I'm nearly there too.
Alright, I got, like I said, the glitz I've used before. Works alright. Usually it takes about 3 passes, sometimes 4. So oven cleaner, pressure clean, oven cleaner, pressure clean. But I'm going to try this one. I'm hoping it's caustic. Stupid as that sounds. Yes, it foams up pretty much the same. Actually, I'll use both. This stuff actually seems to be eating it a lot quicker already.
It looks like it too.
And this is definitely a chemical one. I can
burning?
smell it. No, it's not burning, but I can smell it. So that there, I'll just leave that sit there for a while. And just for this exercise, we use the glitz. So that lid there was quite crusty. It wasn't very gunky, but if you have a look in here, this was really gunky, and that's what I would have expected to see in there. So I think the catch can is doing its job, and I think the residual was just from previous.
Oh, that chemical cleaner's getting to me.
Okay, you might want to wear a mask for that other cleaner because Michael just got the sneezes. But anyways. In there. In there. Oop, dang it. Alright, and we'll let that one sit for a while. Now the only difference is that we're not doing this one today, we'll soak this one. But let's have a quick look here already. That,
Wow.
Sally's one.
That's awesome.
Wow, man.
That does heaps better.
Yeah. We'll see what it's like once we pressure clean it, but I think this stuff's the go right here. $5 a kilo. I think this one was 7, and this one was 5, and you need 2 cans to do it. Okay. Okay, so with the glitz, is it glitz? Yeah. With the glitz, you usually have to let it sit for about 20 minutes and give it quite a few goes. I didn't let this sit at all. I hit it with a pressure cleaner straight up, and it's come up really good. So, yeah, I'll be using Sally's if I'm doing a DIY again. The Sally's oven cleaner. It's a wee ripper. So now I've given it one pass. I'll just get in there with the wire brush, try and get these extra little bits out. Now really, if you're doing it on your own car, that is more than ample. It's clean, it doesn't have build up, it's got good flow. But if you're doing it for a customer, you'll have a robo wash more than likely. But if you're doing it for a customer, it has to be spotless. Even though they can't see it, it's got to be spotless. This is a glitz comparison, so we use the glitz on this one. No soaking, so pretty much threw it on and wiped it off. You can see it really hasn't eaten in. Once again, we've got all the build up off, so that's really sort of staining, but we want to get it spotless. So we're going to use the Sally's and we're going to let it soak. really stuffed as a bomb. Okay, so this is our donor manifold that we've already had cleaned previously. So what we would do here is, that's your lid there. So we'll put the lid back on. Obviously this one's back on. I don't want to go to the trouble of pulling it back off. But what I do want to make note of is, see this one's, and this one was, actually I'm not actually sure what manifold this one's off, because it doesn't have the nipple there. But which is a good thing in this case, we don't want the nipple there. Okay, one downside to the Sally's oven cleaner is it discolours. So that's sort of bright and shiny from your glitz, and then this here is your discoloration from your Sally's. It really doesn't matter, but you know, a lot of people just like to see bright and shiny. So this is the donor lower manifold that we're going to use, but if we didn't have that, we'd obviously have our gasket, goes like so, and our lid goes on there like that. Only thing I'll take note of is that I need to transfer this clamp to here, and I need to remove this clamp, and then I'll reuse this one. So the one process that we're skipping is bolting this on to your newly cleaned manifold. Okay.